I would like to say this about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is the greatest threat to college football because so many parents, families, and coaches, and even players can relate to who and what Deion Sanders has been through. And when Deion Sanders shows up, must be the money. The culture is gonna bite down with prime every time.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
So here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And before I get started, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far on this channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so let's go ahead and dive right in. They were having somewhat of a heated debate on First Take. They were discussing whether or not Deion Sanders should keep his talents in Colorado, or whether or not he should go to a bigger and better school, or maybe he should go to the NFL.
Matthew McConaughey goes to Texas games, right?
Yeah.
You know why? Because of Texas. If you coached at Texas, Matthew McConaughey would go to Texas game. All the people that go to Boulder, Colorado because of Deion Sanders. Period. He doesn't need a different stage. He doesn't need a new set to be the captain of.
And this is the exact same thing that I've always been saying on this particular channel. I said Deion Sanders doesn't need to go anywhere. And if he does go anywhere, it's got to be the NFL, because as it stands, he's the king of Colorado. You can't top Deion Sanders. When you think of Boulder, Colorado, that's the main attraction. Prime time and the Colorado Buffs. And then on top of that, they're winning. And then on top of that, they're able to get some of the top recruits. They just landed a top recruit. They just landed the number 2 player in the 2025 class.
Continuing my athletic and academic career at the University of Colorado.
And so it's working. And there's going to be more players and more players ready to come play for Colorado and ready to come play for Coach Prime. And so he doesn't need to go anywhere. And ironically enough, Cam Newton is going to lay out the exact same thing that I'm laying out right now, but yet he still disagrees.
I would like to say this about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is the greatest threat to college football. Since Nick Saban, he may even be more threatening than Nick Saban, because Deion Sanders has relatability. Because so many parents, families, and coaches, and even players can relate to who and what Deion Sanders has been through. Because when you're trying to recruit a kid, it's bigger than just NIL, which is a lot. But it goes back down to the circumstances of saying, how can I convince a mother? How can I convince a father? How can I convince the uncle? How can I convince the brother?
He is Deion Sanders. And so my point is this.
Come on, Darcy.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. He has changed Colorado. He's changed the way that people enroll in schools. He's changed the price of the tickets. He's changed the butts in the seats. It's a destination for us because he's there. Texas A&M, we gonna go already. We gonna go to LSU. To me, it's go to the pros.
RC, I've agreed with 98% of what you've ever said, but stop the cap in regards to Boulder, Colorado being able to hold college football's greatest gem in Deion Sanders. They bag ain't deep enough. I'm gonna keep it a buck, because when you look at how much coaches are getting paid, with Kirby Smart leading the top of the food chain, it's only certain amount of teams that can compete with the Georgia, and they all doesn't have to be in the SEC.
And so as it stands right now, Deion Sanders is without a doubt the most underpaid college football coach. And I would say the most underpaid coach of any profession. Because this time last year, I remember looking at an article in which it was talking about how much revenue that Deion Sanders has brought to Boulder, Colorado. And I believe it was only around 4 weeks into the season, and they had a $280 million conservative estimate of what Deion Sanders brought to Boulder, Colorado. And that included ticket sales, that included donations, and that included media exposure. Colorado was on prime time every Saturday, and if they're not on ESPN, they're on ABC or Fox or another one of these major networks. And so that conservative estimate of $280 million was just 4 weeks into the season of last year. And so Deion Sanders has probably at the very least, generated about $1 billion by himself. And so he doesn't need to go anywhere. Anywhere he goes, there's going to be cameras. Anywhere he goes, it's going to be box office. It's going to be must-see TV. And then on top of that, if he stays at Colorado, he's got job security. If you go to a Texas A&M or a Florida State, and you don't make it to a bowl game, or you don't win your conference a couple of years, they'll fire you. Contract or not, they'll fire you. And they'll gladly pay you out. But, besides the money, you're out of a job. Right now, Colorado knows that Deion Sanders is the best thing since sliced bread. Because right now, Colorado knows exactly what they got. They know that Deion Sanders is bringing major money to them. And it'll be years before they get another coach like Deion Sanders to be able to attract the kind of players and the kind of people that they want. And so if I had to guess, they would probably come up a little bit on his salary. Right now, he's making about $5.5 million a year compared to Kirby Smart, who's making around $13 million a year. So if I had to guess, they'll probably renegotiating that contract this offseason to try to get him a little bit closer to being one of the highest paid coaches in college football, as it should be. But I don't think he's going anywhere. There's no reason to go anywhere unless it's the NFL and unless he's got the ability to be able to coach his son. But I don't think he should. I think he should let Shedeur do his own thing in the NFL, find his own way. And if, by any chance there's a job and an opportunity that becomes available and Shedeur happens to be the quarterback of that team, I think it'll be perfect. But like I said, as it stands, Deion Sanders is comfortable. He's not going anywhere. He just got the number 2 player in the nation, the best quarterback in the nation. He got more players on the way. He's got job security. Life is good. There's no reason to go anywhere. There's no reason to rock the boat. Sometimes bigger isn't always better. Pause. But anyways, I think that's going to be a wrap on this one. You guys go ahead and let me know how y'all feel in the comment section below. But definitely look out for some more videos to come. I got some different projects that I'm working on. I want to try to get back to some of my older content without going too heavy, but definitely be on the lookout for that. And as usual, peace and chaos.